Power 98.3 Juice with Jay and Jay with a special guest that Jay.alexaa found. And we love when you bring special guests to the table.
Yeah, you know. Sunlight.
Davon, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
AKA MISMANOSCO. I
Yes,
said it right?
sir. Yes,
my
sir.
Spanish game is getting better.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, man. I was checking out the page. She was telling me all about you and what you're doing. And we love, you know, the not only just the young, but the young black businesses that are coming up in the Valley.
For sure. Definitely.
Tell us about you and how you got started.
Well, kind of started in the fashion game. I always wanted to implement jewelry in the fashion, you know, putting buttons and aglets, you know, just trying to find a different angle to the fashion industry. In that, I started doing research, found out about GIA, which is the Gemological Institute of America. I went there for about 6-7 months and just was fully indulged in the jewelry game. Changed my life, you know what I'm saying? I'm first generation and all of that type of stuff. So when I got there, I was only used to sewing and putting clothes together and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you said you went to like FIDM.
Correct.
And for those that don't know, FIDM is iconic in fashion. So he knows what he's talking about.
How did you get into that school?
You got to do like a
Application?
portfolio. Yeah,
Yes, I figured it would show something, you know.
Where everybody was taking SATs and ACTs, I was doing portfolio to get in fit them. So, you know, just... I don't know. I found it early. I was blessed to find what I loved early, and then it kind of just transitioned into something else that I like to say I love as well. So
you started in fashion and then made your way into jewelry game, into like the accessories. So what made you say, okay, I want to start making grills? Because like we talked about yesterday, it's lucrative. It's like, how'd you get into that?
It's crazy, especially if you know how to do it right, because it's not a lot of people that do it right. There's a lot of people that do it, but you know what I'm saying? They don't. I feel like going to GIA, like they train you to have a specific eye when it comes to like quality assurance and stuff like that. So when I make a grill, I don't just make it like a grill, like some teeth. I make it like a piece of jewelry, like a piece of art.
It's art, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I just look at it differently. But the grills really just started with, you know, every kid grow up wanting a grill. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted a grill, and I never really had one until I made my own. So that was just like the motivation there. And then after that, you know, all my friends like, oh shit, you know how to make a grill, da-da-da. I'm like, I guess I know how to now, you know, so it just kind of went from there.
Because you make your own jewelry, do you switch it up for yourself? I'm sure, like, let's say you wear like a green sweater one day and you're like, yeah, I want to make a grill with green gemstones. That's so cool.
Definitely.
Like he can hook himself up.
For sure. I have a couple different sets and, you know, different colorways for sure. I tend to wear a lot of black and red, so, you know, all of my main pieces, like stuff like this, is going to always have some type of garnet or red stone. But my birthstone is emerald, so I've been trying to, like, figure out how to use that. The teeth that you may have seen, like, on my page that are personal is some jade ones. Those are kind of popular. I just was trying stuff for JCK.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, there's, you know, gemology or like this stuff with like crystals and stuff. Obviously, we know like in Asian culture, jade is like really prevalent. Mm-hmm. And so like that'd be cool. Like seeing you, like I saw that you did that for some of the grills. Mm-hmm. I was like, dang, like I've never seen anyone do jade for teeth. Like that's so dope.
Unique for sure.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I just turned 26 in May.
Oh, wow.
He looks so young.
Yeah,
he has like
sure.
a baby face.
So what is the road to being profitable in something like this? If you're like starting out and you're like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have the market for it. Now how am I going to go about getting people to tap in so I can make money off of it?
It's really just consistency. As cliche as that sounds, you know what I'm saying? It's really just about, you know, believing in yourself and staying down through you know, all of the times that it's going to be slow, because as lucrative as it is it's not a necessity. You know what I'm saying? So when
Luxury.
Stuff hits the fan, you know, we the first people to be not thought of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I was going to ask you because, you know, they have like conventions and like, you know, fashion shows and things like that. Do you work your way in with accessories to, you know, being at those shows, or like do they have things that specialize in the jewelry game as well?
They do. So there's different trade shows throughout the year, whether it be for gemstones or just like technology and, you know, the new up and coming things. There was I just went to one in June in Vegas. It's called JCK. So that's like one of the biggest jewelry trade shows in the world. So people come from all over the world and they showcase the new tools and all of that type of stuff. They do presentations. GIA is there doing presentation, so I ran into a couple of my like old instructors and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So it's a really cool experience. You just get to run into, you know, different people doing the same thing that you do. And they were, you know, kind of inspired to see somebody so young, you know what I'm saying, and walking in the like you guys said, in the black business path is stick out like a sore thumb over there.
Yeah. So talking about you being really young and doing the GIA stuff. Now, you go to trade shows and you're talking at some of these shows, right? Aren't you like presenting on your tour?
Yeah. So in El Paso, I'm doing like, you know, just like little speeches or whatever to you know, interns or people that are just trying to figure out how to get their foot in the industry, because I feel like it's such a close knit community. A lot of times it's family business or something like that, and you know, I came up luckily around, you know, OGs that they see the hunger in me, so they're willing to help me out, right? But I'm kind of like the same way. Like I want to help the people that want to help themselves. You know what I'm saying? So as if anybody has any questions as far as like where they need to go, what they need to do.
Yeah, you want to help them out.
For sure.
What are some of your main stops that you're making on your tour? Because this Phoenix was like your first one?
Second. So we went to Vegas first, and then Phoenix, and then we'll be in El Paso next.
So what are like from those stops? Like what are your like main big stops? Just so that people know and they're like, okay, well he's coming to my city.
I'm gonna be in a lot of big, you know, big areas, especially southern ones. You know what I'm saying? The Dallas, the Houston, the New Orleans, the Atlanta, the Miami, Tampa, Orlando. I was just talking to my mom. She's like, you ain't doing Jacksonville? I'm like, I mean, I guess I can. You know what I'm saying? That it's all in the same vicinity.
Same
so
areas.
Where are you, like, you call home as far as like, is Jacksonville like where your mom's at?
Nah, so I'm actually like my whole family's like in Georgia, but I'm based in San Diego. So my main office and all of that stuff is in San Diego. I've been doing this for 5 years in September. So, you know, I've been in San Diego kind of like establishing myself there. And then, you know, I just kind of got the idea. I did a pop-up in Phoenix a couple months ago, and kind of just, I loved it out here. And I like the experience of, you know, meeting new people, not necessarily off the internet.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, still got to tap in through DMs and stuff like that, but it's different when I get
authentic.
Right. I don't have to send you a mold kit or, you know what I'm saying, anything like that, and I can really showcase the craft, because I don't think a lot of people understand.
Do you have
artistry.
One person, whether it's rapper, celebrity,
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
that you're like, listen, I want to link with them and make sure I get them right?
I mean, of course, it's a lot that, you know, is inspired me.
You got to pick like one or two celebrities that you're like, I want to see my grill or my jewelry on a red carpet or at an event. They're showcasing like, oh yeah, he got me hooked up.
Damn, with the red carpet.
Hey, they be wearing grills at the red carpet now.
It
You know
don't
what I'm
happen,
saying?
so, you know, you got to prepare
Yeah,
now.
no, for sure. I mean, I definitely don't want to. I don't want to.
No jinxing. This is speaking into manifestation.
I mean, so my favorite artists are probably like, you know, the Key Glocks, the, you know, R.I.P. Young Dolph. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, anybody that's willing to mess with me genuinely though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to work with who want to work with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of artists that motivate me, but they don't all necessarily wear jewelry or, you know what I'm saying, even be on that. But, you know, it's a lifestyle, really. So it ain't even just about the pieces. Like, if I can make you a figurine or microphone or, you know what I'm saying, like anything to...
Yeah, because I mean, like 5 years in business is a lot, especially for, you know, an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, and a young Black entrepreneur.
Definitely.
So, what are your plans for the next 5 years? Like 5 years from now, you look back at this video and you're like, "This is where I was at that time. Where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing at that moment?"
So I really want to just expand and you know, grow it. I want to use the Grillz as kind of just like the platform to, you know, bring the people in, but then once they understand the story of like, oh, he doesn't just make grills, he just makes art.
Everything,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I want to be doing interior design, you know, having my own runway shows and throwing my own concerts, events. I did something called a MISMANOS mixer not too long ago, actually for my birthday, where I had different artists that I've worked with. You know what I'm saying? They come out, they perform. All of my clients in the city come out. You wear your piece, that's your
that's
ticket.
sick.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a big showcase where everybody that everyone I work with walk in different paths. So, I have people that do fashion, that do music, that do, car interiors and stuff like that. So seeing all of them together, rocking their pieces be,
Yeah, and I'm thinking too from an Arizona level, we get so many local artists that come through that are also trying to work their way up in the business. And if I can say, yo, jewelry,
Yeah,
we
you
know
need
the
to get
plug,
hooked up.
so you got to come back through the Phoenix. I hope you know what I'm saying?
no, for sure.
I was telling him, I was like, next time you're here, like, let me know in advance, because like we do events and all that stuff, so it'd be like good to have him.
And I do classes, so that's part of the tour too. So it's like, that's another reason why I kind of want to go to all of these cities and see where it's best to have classes and stuff like that. Like out here, I actually found a couple, jewelry supply stores and stuff like that. So if I was to come back out here and wanted to do a class, I know where to go as far as getting materials for people and, steering them in the right direction so that they can start their own jewelry business. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anyone right now in the game that you are like, not so much like going against, but that's kind of like,
But
like,
inspiring. So I kind of separate the designers from the jewelers,
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
because I actually work at the bench, I look at it a little bit different. I do respect and understand that, it takes a team, a big team. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the fact that I do a lot of this stuff in-house
By yourself.
myself is, that's it separates me in that respect in itself. But as far as like, just creators, people that make jewelry, of course you got to pay respects to, the Eliantes, the Ben Ballers, the Greg Yunas, you know what I'm saying? Alex Moss, you know what I'm saying? They are like craftsmen in design, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as like putting it together, if you don't know who Bobby White is, that's probably who you need to be looking up on YouTube.
okay, he does like stuff like you do.
Yeah, he does like handcrafted stuff at the bench, and he actually makes like videos and stuff of him, welding all of the pieces.
I was going to say, how long does that take? Like, if you're working on a piece, like...
It takes hours.
I asked him because he made mine, and he said it took him like 4 to 5 hours just to make mine. And that
consistent,
was
like 4 to 5, like straight.
yeah, and that was like
Well,
we
it's
didn't.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's certain parts of the process, but
You
like
have to wait.
all together, because it probably took like 6-7 hours, but it
Yeah.
was 4 or 5 hours of like
Actual
working.
work.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's like without gemstones or anything. Like, there's people that have like intricate pieces,
Right,
and
right,
I'm
right,
like,
right.
that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
I can only imagine how long those ones would take.
Yeah, like I did a piece for somebody out here with the opals and stuff. I just
Yeah.
posted out my story, so that one took a lot longer.
Yeah.
Just setting
The stone.
the stones.
Okay. So if you had to go back and probably tell yourself one thing when you started this, what's one thing that you would have changed? Because I'm sure you've learned a lot along the way. Clients that you didn't want to have, clients that you were like, shoot, I should have like worked with them. What's one thing that you could go back and redo?
Just stand on business and don't be too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta
That's really good advice.
Wait. I kind of want to dig into this. What happened? You don't have to give us details.
I feel like when you're good at what you do and you're useful, you are bound to get used a lot. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you get used without even knowing, just because it doesn't feel like a lot to you at first. But over time, it's one of those things that kind of like, you don't want to work yourself into the ground trying to please people that don't, understand.
I know people use
what
him for
you're
tickets
doing.
all the time.
I wasn't going to use that example, but that's a fair good point.
Because it's a craft. So that's what I'm saying. Like when it's like 4 or 5 hours of time, it's like that's time I can't get back. So
Yeah.
you
Time is
can't
money.
you can't put a value on that type of stuff.
Well, we're so glad that you came and stopped
Yeah.
through,
Pleasure.
man. We
I
wish you the
appreciate
best
y'all.
on your journey. I'm tapped in now with you on IG, but for those that are watching and listening, of course, let them know where they can find you on the gram.
They can find me at MISMANOSCO, MISMANOSCO, on Instagram, TikTok. yeah, just tap in there, hit the DM.
One of the questions that's going to come up is, does he ever do any giveaways? Do you do any of that right now? Like, as far as, like, listen, we do, like, special things on Instagram and all that? Because, there's a lot of broke people on. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, why you always talking about broke people?
I used to do that.
But it changed.
Yeah, so that goes with the being nice thing.
There we go.
You kind of got to stand on it. Like, if you ain't got the money to do it, you shouldn't be doing it.
There it is, right there.
I want to work with the people that work for it. You know what I'm saying? They appreciate
you gotta make money
more.
too. You gotta turn a profit.
Right, but at the end of the tour, I might be ready to do some type of something. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure something out for the people because I love the people for sure.
Sorry, I called y'all broke. All right, there we go.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate y'all.